I am happy to speak to you today on this topic. This topic is going to be fascinating. So, I'm going to ask you to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I hope we have been having some great discussions and presenting with some great insights or opening your eyes to possibly some things that you had not seen. And today is one such day. I'm going to talk to you about the value of higher education. Now, it is argued that there's a direct relationship. A matter of fact, it's not even argued, it's been established mathematically that there is a direct relationship between education and empowerment, development, economic success, economic growth, and social stability. So those things have been mathematically established. So, but I want you to analyze it today critically to see if it makes sense to get a tertiary education or higher level education. I'm going to actually do some math because I'm a math person, so you appreciate my views into things. All right. So I'm going to argue some premise. I'm going to assume that the value of going to any university in Jamaica or anywhere in Jamaica we're speaking of, and you can actually um put it in Jamaican dollars, US dollars if you so desire. Convert Jamaican money into US dollars and sort of see for those who are outside Jamaica to contextualize the problem. So my discussion today will be centered around using Jamaican dollars to speak of. So let's assume it costs you $1 million Jamaican a year to go to a university. Most universities in Jamaica are 4 years, with the exception of University of the West Indies, that you technically would have done 2 years in sixth form and then attend there for 3 years. So that will be 5 years. All right. But then of the 5 years, only 3 of them will be done at the University of the West Indies. So we're going to say most universities in Jamaica is a 4-year program, with the exception of the University of the West Indies, which is a 3-year program. So we're going to look at the 4 years institution, then the 3-year institution. So $1 million a year times 4 is $4 million cash that's required. Then there is bus fare, then there is lunch, then there's all of that. And I'm going to put an extra books, etc. I'm going to put that at estimation of $3 million. So you have a total of $7 million. All right. Now, how long will it take you when you are finished to work that $7 million? I'm just gonna allow you some time to think about it. Depends on your salary. A few person will leave with a first degree and get $8 or $7 million a year. Not many persons are going to get that. The average salary might be between $2 to $3 million. So, and you're gonna talk about paying light bill, bus fare, water rate, including of your student loans, etc. So that will give you little or nothing to save initially in about the first 2 to 3 years. So when you look at that now, you're saying that it when you would have spent $7 million to attend a university, a 4 institution in Jamaica, 7 million Jamaican dollars, it will take you a minimum of say 10 years to put yourself together and be on a somewhat of a solid footing to actually make life. All right, 7 years. I'm gonna ask you now to take that $7 million now. Let's do some calculations, some profit calculations, some markup calculations. I will say take that $7 million and invest it in any business in Jamaica. How much would you make in the 7 year period? You have possibly quadruple your income. And listen carefully, you'd have quadruple your income in that time. So you'd have been able to buy yourself a house, buy yourself a good car, live in a certain life. And let's compare that now. That if you were to go to university, it take you about 10 years. So you're saying it will take you about 10 years to reach where somebody would have taken the raw cash to do in about 3 years. So the person has an advantage over you by opening a business with the same amount of money. So that extra 4 years that the person has advantage over you, that person is likely to become a millionaire in that 4 year period if the investment is just working at a minimal rate or minimal turnover. And then you will not be a millionaire in your 10-year time period, except you're going to be owing for a house and you're going to call all that you have owed for assets. But then what you ought to do is to take out your liabilities and realize what you really own. See, own little or nothing after a 10-year period of attending a universal higher education institution. Now, if that were to be a 3-year institution like the University of the West Indies, if you were to take that money, that 1 million times 3, that's $3 million, including books, etc., that would take another $3 million. That's $6 million, little or no difference, a $1 million difference, or a small amount of money in terms of difference in terms of what it would actually cost you to attend a 3-year institution compared to a 4-year institution. So that same $6 million could be invested, and you make far more on that $6 million invested for a 7-year period or a 4-year period, and you'll be able to repay that money, that 6 million, 7 million. You'll be able to own property. And if you were to go for 10 years, a period in which the average person would actually take time to recover or to make semblance of himself or herself having completed a higher educational institution, degree, qualification, then saving that money, only saving that money, and in the stock exchange, etc., you would have made far more on your money. So I'm asking the question, what is really the value of higher education? And I want you to look for a second. Look at those persons who have wealth anywhere in the world. Just look at all of them who have wealth in the world. And how many of them have a PhD or a master's? A matter of fact, many of them do not have a first degree, including Bill Gates. Now, what am I saying to you? A number of us have been actually crafted, and I'm using the terms carefully here now, crafted into accepting the structure and believing that higher education will actually make you money. What higher education makes you is to be satisfied from the structure that you are someone. But you are someone with little or nothing. That's someone you are. Now, the structure tells you to be satisfied with what you have actually earned and be glad of your role that you're actually playing. But which role are you really playing? When they keep the score, they give you equipment to actually bat. They provide what? The umpires. They provide what? The playing field, and all you are is just a what? A puppet. Look at it. What is really the true value of higher education? You attain little or nothing from a higher education except a perceived notion of owing things that you take possibly 20, 15 years to repay. Possibly a number of you will actually die before you repay the cost for the house, the mortgage for the house. And you'll actually change cars that what you're going to be owning, just a car. Whereas the person who would have actually invested that amount of money would have been able to buy 6 or 7 cars with you only maybe changing 2 or 3. And the quality of the cars that the person would be driving, investing, would be higher than that you would have done. So when you look at it, look at the structure, look at the value, think about investing and think about going to school and look at the nurses who would have actually spent 3 years. Mostly all nurses or RNs would have spent a minimum of 3 years at the university. And look how many of them are struggling just to make ends meet. Look how many of the teachers, look how they are struggling. They have all been sold a system of fallacy. It is clearly not true. You are told that you self-actualize getting education. Self-actualize what? The structures conception, the structures label, the structures thought, the structured approach to things. They own the resources, and all you are doing is playing the game. I think it's time for you to change the game. If you are the player and they are being entertained, change the game. Those are my views, ladies and gentlemen. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Let's have a dialogue on the matter. Am I correct? Am I making sense?